Hey, you guys, this is Nisi P of Nisi P Entertainment. We're back with another phenomenal woman. This is Pastor Bree. Pastor Bree, how are you today?
Hi, Nisi. I am well, and it is so good to see
I
you.
know, right? We haven't
Yes,
seen each other for a while, so
it's been quite some time,
I
and I'm so
know,
happy to see
I
you.
know, right? She is just a plethora of quite a number of things. And she has this program, which is New Season, New Day, where she's coaching and mentoring. So, Pastor Bree, how did you start that?
It is so interesting you asked that because I started that business, New Season, New Day Coaching and Mentoring, as a result of a lot of the life experiences that I have had over the last several years.
Okay.
And that included um, I was in a mentally and emotionally abusive marriage. I experienced the death of multiple family members kind of all at the same time, including my mother and grandmother. Um, Finally, deciding to leave that marriage and file for divorce. So, all of that was happening around the same time. And I knew I needed to heal from all of that.
Okay.
So the pandemic slowed me down, as
Okay.
it did a lot of us. And as I began to heal, I began to realize that there were other women who were experiencing or had experienced similar things. And I wanted to be able to minister to them from my experiences. And so that's where the coaching practice has come from.
Wow. So when you say how did you recognize, because you're right, there are quite a number of women that are either in that situation or just getting out of that situation. So how did you recognize that
Mhm.
you were in the healing process?
I knew that I needed healing because simply because I knew that what I had experienced was not good, right?
Okay.
Um, I knew that I had come out of all of those things, not the person that God has called me to be. Um, I was in a state of brokenness, and I don't like to say I was broken, but I was in a state of brokenness,
Mhm.
grieving the loss of loved ones. That's a state of brokenness that we
Right.
have to process so that we
Right.
can move past those things. The abusive marriage, we have to process what has happened to us and understand that although we were not perfect in the situation, no one deserves abuse. And so we have to heal and forgive other people for the things that they have done, whether knowingly or unknowingly. So just the understanding that I did not want to be bitter. I wanted to be better as a result of all of those things.
Um, it is hard and I'm going to make the assumption for women because I am one, um, to be able to not harbor that bitterness.
Yes.
It is just it's really hard sometimes, and especially if you don't recognize the healing process.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
think sometimes it's a little longer for others. So
Yes.
what would you recommend for someone that um how to even start their process?
Hmm.
Because some
One
of
of
us
the
don't know how.
Sure. One of the things I would recommend, and this is something that I did
Mhm.
personally, was engage a counselor or a therapist. So my therapist is a Christian counselor,
Okay.
and that was important to me. And so she helped me. Uh, she coached me and talked to me. We would talk about scripture, but she would really help me as I would share the things that I had been through. She would help me have an understanding from it about those things from a more objective standpoint. So
Okay.
just an objective listening ear that can help you process what has occurred. And that could look like a number of things. So we would do all kinds of exercises, and I would have homework. Um, so that I could write my feelings. You know, it's important to talk through those feelings with someone who really doesn't have a dog in your fight, right?
Okay.
They're just there to help you as an objective voice, to help you process what has happened to you so that you can get on the other side of it. Now, we don't forget what we've gone through,
Right.
but if we process those things well, we can learn from them because there are lessons in everything, right?
Right.
We can learn from them and we can be better people on the other side of them without being the bitter and angry person.
Right.
Yeah.
So with your coaching, are you just specifically coaching and mentoring women, or are men also included in that?
I mainly coach women, and the women I coach are those who have experienced some kind of life transition.
Okay.
So if you have experienced some kind of life transition after it happens, sometimes you don't know where to go or what to do, or
Right.
what your next season in life is going to look like.
Right.
So I help those women to figure out, what is that next season of my life? What is that going to look like? So that she can be the best version of herself, no matter what has happened. And you know, from a Christian standpoint, because I am a minister, I desire women to be everything that God has called them to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you think, because of your ministry and you being a pastor, do you think that that was a really big help for you in order to go through the changes and with the healing process and being able to talk to other women?
I would say yes, but that does not mean that if you're not a Christian, that you can't have that same healing.
Okay.
But for me, being close to God and having a relationship with God and being a person of prayer and trusting God did help me to go through those various experiences and come on the other side of them a better person.
Wow, that's awesome. So, Pastor Bree, what motivates you? Or
What motivates me?
Inspires you? What motivates or inspires you?
Yeah, that's a great question. What motivates me is walking in my purpose, doing what I know God has called me to do. I say that I am a Christian communicator,
Okay.
teacher, speaker, author. And so I get excited when I have the opportunity to pour into other people. And I get really excited when I see their transformation.
Okay.
I see their lives changing for the better. That really excites me. It is what gets me up at 4 a.m. every morning.
Oh my goodness. Oh, 4 a.m. No. No, I probably, knowing me, because I don't sleep well, so I'll probably just be going to sleep at 4 a.m.
Well,
So
by 9 o'clock in the evening, I'm done. So
you're done.
yeah.
Okay, so you just mentioned something that I didn't know. You're an author as well.
I am, yes. I published a book entitled Returning to Wholeness, Overcoming Life's Challenges to Live a Blessed Life. Published it in November of 2020.
Okay.
And it is my story. It's my story of how I was able to overcome loss, abuse, divorce, all of those things, to be able to get on the other side and live a blessed life. So that is the book.
Well, how long did it take you to write it?
I started writing right as the pandemic was beginning, so about March or April 2020, and I published it in November of that same year. So about
that was
7-8 months. Yeah,
that was really fast. You know, I talked to some people and it's, I've been having it on the back burner for like over a year and stuff. So that was really fast.
And it was actually something that was in the back of my mind.
Okay.
I started writing, just journaling, and my purpose for journaling was just to process my thoughts and feelings, as we shared earlier. And the more I wrote, the more I realized that there's someone who needs to read this. there's someone who's going through something very similar, and she needs to understand that there is hope on the other side of difficulty. And so it started off as a journal and then turned into my book.
Wow. So do you recommend that for those of us that maybe going through changes or maybe just have come out to journal? Because I've heard a lot of people say that really helps them to be able to get that out. So do you recommend that to some women or
Yes, I
all the rest of
highly,
us?
yes. And in my coaching practice, with my coaching clients, part of what we do is journaling. So after our sessions, I ask them to write down their thoughts, to write down their feelings about what we're learning, about what it is we're talking about. Journaling really does help you to get your feelings out in a way that sometimes you may not be able to verbalize. And then you can go back and read and say, wow, yeah, that is really what's going on with me. So yes, journaling is very important, and I still journal. I journal ideas. I journal thoughts I get in prayer. So yeah, I am still a regular journaler, if that's a word.
So that'll be the next book that's coming out.
It could be. It could be.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I also found out about you is you have an Elegant Affair wedding and event planning company.
I do, yes.
Oh, tell me a little bit about that.
So I started an Elegant Affair in October of 2009. So it is going on 14 years. And in that business, I mainly do social events like weddings, anniversary parties, birthday parties. I do lots of weddings, but I also do those special occasion events as well. I also plan nonprofit events, charity balls, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And some corporate events also.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I noticed that you said weddings twice. So is that your favorite?
They are. I think they are my favorite because I enjoy so much about that day. But I love when a couple has a vision for what they want their special day to be. I love to be able to make it come to fruition. And then to be there on that day to see all the plans that we've made actually happen, and watch those things fall into place into the vision that the couple had. I just love that. And, you know, I love love. I love happy couples. And I love families coming together, you know, two families becoming one when a couple gets married. So yeah, they're a lot of work, but they are a lot of fun too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Pastor Bree, if someone wanted to get on your mailing list, how would we go about doing that? Because I'm
Sure.
there.
Yes, and thank you. Thank you for subscribing. And they can visit my website, newseasonnewday.com. And right on the homepage, there's a subscribe little box. They can just put their name and email address, and they'll be added to the email list.
So can they also get in touch with you the same way if they want to talk to you about coaching or mentoring?
Yes, absolutely. So they can fill out the contact form on the website if they're interested in one of the packages or programs, and that message comes right to me.
I told you guys I'm having another phenomenal woman. Pastor Bree, thank you so much for taking the time to meet. I so appreciate this because I have been waiting. We have been planning this for a little while. So I have been really excited about talking to you. I've seen what you do and you are such an inspiration. So thank you so much.
And thank you so much. I appreciate it. And it's always good to see you.
I know, always good to see you as well.
Yes.
This has been Nisi P of Nisi P Entertainment. Back to you in the studio. I'm gonna hit that.